Hey guys, Curtis from Patriot Fishing and Boating. Just want to take a few minutes here to show you how to repair a Skeg. I happen to have some minor damage, if you will, or mostly it's cosmetic, but I'm OCD and I don't like looking at it. I know it's there. It happened over Labor Day weekend. My son, who's almost 18, no fault of his own, but we hit a brick or a boulder, not sure what it was. Yeah, it was shallow, but we didn't know it was there. Luckily, we were going at low speed, basically just pulling away from the shore. So for those of you who own a boat, you'll know that obviously the Skeg is something that's always vulnerable. It's always out there sticking out, waiting for something to hit if you're in shallow water, or if you're fishing shallow water, or whatever the case is. But today I'm going to show you a simple method, of how to repair a Skeg. Pretty quickly. It takes 2 days. You'll see that as we go ahead, but that's only because you have some drying time and things like that. But before we get started, I want to show you what you'll need for day one, and it's pretty simple. One, depending on the extent of the damage, or if you have burrs or anything like that, you'll need a file. You'll need this. It's like $7.50. Napa Auto Parts is the only place I could find it. It's JB Marine Weld. And it's a two-part epoxy with a resin and a hardener. And then you'll need some type of squeegee, or a putty knife or plastic, metal, whatever you can find to maneuver the epoxy and stuff around the Skeg. And then you can use whatever you want. For a little stir stick, I got a brand new number 2 pencil. And then a plate, paper plate or something to at least put the two-part epoxy in. Alright guys, so basically what I'm working with here is a one strike. This is a 2021. It's only a 4-week-old boat and motor. Brand new everything. All this is from one hit. And I believe it was from a cinder block or a boulder, but yeah, it's not too bad. Mostly chip paint. But I do have some burrs that I'll show you. We're going to file it off in a second. But we're gonna repair this and make it look like new. So yeah, I mean, this is the other view from the other side. Basically some chipping of the paint, minor marring of the front of the Skeg, and then on the bottom it's not really damaged, but the paint was peeled off. All that should be easily repaired, and we'll show you how to do that here in a second. All right, so first step you want to do is go ahead and I'm going to use the file just to get some burrs. Nothing difficult. For me, I'm lucky it wasn't major damage, so I just want to get the burrs off here. Make sure you get under there, kind of feel it. Should be smooth, or at least the edges should be smooth. Like I said, I don't have a lot of damage here. I mean, pretty much most of it's cosmetic. I do have some minor dents, but like I said again, if you're like me, yeah, OCD, especially with a brand new boat, whether it's brand new or not, you want the shit to look good. All right, so step one's pretty easy, guys. Number one, take this JB Weld, Marine Weld. Again, I got it from Napa Auto Parts. I ordered it online because it wasn't available in my area here with in person, which is Fort Knox, Kentucky area. So it came literally the next day, and we just picked it up today. So All right, this is 1-to-1 mix. We got a hardener and we got the resin. So basically, there's no science here. We're just gonna kind of squeeze them out evenly. I don't have a lot of work to do. I don't have any major damage, so I don't need a lot. So this right here will probably do me just fine right there. All right, once you've got your 1-to-1 in there, take your simple stir stick, whatever it is, and you'll find out it's really thick. It's really goopy and sticky, which is good. Just kind of stir it up until you get an even color. So when you put them both together, obviously you're gonna get a nice gray between the epoxy and the resin. Once you get it good and mixed up, you'll be ready to go. Kind of like stirring a Frosty. A nice gray paste, so it's pretty simple at this point. All right, so this is real easy. It's not a science project. Rest assured, obviously there'll be some sanding done, which will be day 2. So all you're gonna just be liberal. Be liberal with what you're putting on there, and just know that you'll sand it tomorrow or in the next 24 hours. I'm gonna do the same thing with the other side, as you can see here. So in order to kind of save time and save your guys' time, just know that what I'm doing on that side, I'm doing on this side. And using I use a plastic putty. Basically, it's not even a putty knife, it's a squeegee for applying decals to motorcycles. My son used to race motocross for almost 8.5 years, so I have a lot of these hanging around. So kind of, as you see, just rough work. If any of you out there have done finishing drywall or something like that, that job sucks, okay? I'm not gonna lie. Comment if you agree, like if you agree or whatever, but again, this is not rocket science. Put it on there knowing that you're gonna sand it off, and just put enough on there to fill in any of the holes or dents or divots or anything created by whatever it was you happen to run over. All right, so I'm about to start my second coat. It's been about 20 minutes. It's not absolutely dry, but it's tacky enough that it will hold a second coat. All right, guys, so I've put 2 coats of the JB Weld Marine Weld on this Skeg. Again, minor damage. When I say damage, I mean paint chipped and a little bit of unevenness in the front of the Skeg. Mostly the bottom was, again, paint removed. So not a lot necessary here, but it will be the same principle depending on what damage you have, whether you got big chips or gouges. But we got 2 coats on there. We're gonna let it sit for 24 hours, and we'll get to the next part. Alright guys, so it's a little over 24 hours later, next day. Again, I got 2 coats of JB Weld Marine Weld on here, and wow, it's hard, very hard, feels very strong and sturdy. So happy with that. Now we're gonna sand on this. I can't find my nice DeWalt. I don't know what the deal is, but it's around here somewhere, so I actually happen to have a little mouse sander. I got 180 grit sandpaper on here. I don't want anything real rough. This should take it off. I haven't tested it, so if it doesn't, then you'll know. I'll have to put some 80 or 60 or 80 grit to get it down, but here we go. And again, just a reminder, so as you can see, I don't have a lot of damage. And I'm not going to sit here and sand the whole Skeg. I'm probably going to focus on that bottom 2 inches along the front and the bottom. Alright, so if you can see that, it's looking real good. I am going to go down to an 80 grit sandpaper real quick. And take down some of my thicker spots. But wow, it's smoothing it out pretty good. Looks good so far. All right, so it looks real good, feels real good. That's with the 60 grit. Now I'm going to put that 180 back on there and finish her off. All right, guys, so as you can see, we sanded both sides and it looks and feels good. Again, I started with the 180, but it was not coarse enough to go ahead and knock off the thick parts. So started with 60, got it all smoothed out the best I could to get the major parts done. Went back up to 180, finished it. Feels like a baby's butt. Hey, bottom line is I just realized I said 60 grit. That was 80 grit sandpaper that I used to do it initially. 80 grit, not 60 grit. Give me a thumbs up. All right, so next step, we want to get ready to paint. Before we paint, you want to clean this surface real good. If you've ever painted anything, obviously you know that. So from the sanding, lots of dust sitting on there. You don't want to paint over the dust. So do not use water. Highly recommend you do not use water. Don't use soap. I'm going to go ahead and use isopropyl alcohol or rubbing alcohol. Why? One, because it cleans and it takes off pretty much any residue oil from your hands or whatever. But it also dries quickly and cleanly and gets you literally ready to paint. And yes, I go liberal with it. That's what you want to get off. All right, ready to paint. All right, so obviously you want to protect things that you don't want paint to get on. Being that this is a brand new chrome plated stainless steel prop, I don't want this to be gray. So we're going to cover that, and it's real difficult. You just go shopping if you don't have any, and get some plastic grocery bags and wrap it up just like that. You get it all protected. And if you're like me and you got a bungee cord on your transom saver, you can kind of tuck it behind there and keep it in place. All right, guys, so we've prepped it. We got the alcohol wiped, took the dust off, and we put the bags over the prop, and we're ready to paint. So what I did was I went to partsview.com, PARTSV as in Victor, U as in Union.com. They sell OEM mercury paint. And in this case, obviously, I have a Verado silver lower end, so that's exactly what I got. So it's fast drying and it's high gloss. It's pretty humid out here. You can probably see the sweat on my forehead. Got a chance of rain, but I'm gonna go ahead and get her done. So again, that's partsview.com. All right, guys, so just a couple things about the paint. That Mercury paint says that it dries to no tack in 20 minutes. Okay, we proved that was true. It dries and sets in 1 hour. It's set. And then it says 24 hours to get a total full dry. It's sprinkling here, so I did keep the plastic on the prop just to kind of help shield the Skeg, which it's not getting wet at all. Turned out real good. So if you have chips or you have chunks, small chunks or whatever in your Skeg missing, I hope you can use this principle and technique and fix your Skeg and make it look like new. I'm really excited about it. So if you guys like this video, please hit that like button, smash that subscribe. As always, stay patriot. Peace.